This is the Huckleberry Railroad, number 152. I'm Darren, and this is the Industrial Revolution.
"152 was built by Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in June 1920. It's a 3-foot gauge, coal-fired 460 10-wheeler locomotive, originally built for the Tanana Valley Railroad in Alaska. That railroad was quickly purchased by the Alaska Engineering Commission and was set to work building the new standard gauge Alaska Railroad. Operating in Alaska wasn't easy. Remember, it wasn't a state yet, and the government was essentially the U.S. Army, and the Alaska Engineering Commission was a part of that. The extreme cold did come with one advantage, though. Have you ever seen ice road truckers on TV? Well, nearly a century before that TV series, there were ice railroad engineers. Here you see number 151 crossing a frozen river. And there's a good chance that number 152 did that regularly too. This was the last railroad in the Western Hemisphere to use ice railroads. When the new standard gauge Alaska Railroad was finished, 152 was put on the Chattanooga branch of the Alaska Railroad, which was still a 3-foot gauge, running from Fairbanks to Nenana's coal mines and the gold rush town of Chattanooga until about 1930, when it was retired, parked, and forgotten about. In 1946, it was found again, and that went through several owners before finally landing in Flint, Michigan at the newly created Crossroads Village and Huckleberry Railroad in 1976, just in time for the country's Bicentennial celebration. There was already a railroad here before that, of course. Way back in 1872, the Flint River Railroad was built here as a fairly short line. That was actually extended twice, reaching a final length of 19.5 miles, or about 31.5 kilometers, running from Flint to Fostoria. But by 1932, pieces of that line began to be abandoned. In 1976, the standard gauge track, which was still present here, was regauged to 3 feet by moving one of the rails in. They already had the equipment available for the 3-foot gauge, so it made sense to simply move a rail and use the existing lines. They also added a loop at each end, giving about an 8-mile or 13-kilometer round trip. The track today, as it was back in 1872, is pretty rough. That's partly why this road got its name, actually, the Huckleberry Railroad. They said that, in the slower parts, you could jump off the front car, pick wild huckleberries, also known as blueberries, along the side of the tracks, and then jump back on the train to the back car.
guys have a box for that?
That's, yeah, 1630.
Locomotive number 3. And 2 number 3s, so I have to specify it was the 10 number or named Old Gary.
Yeah, so I was fun to, 2 years ago.
When 152 arrived here, it was rebuilt, repainted, and renumbered as number 2. But today, it's reclaimed its original number, and it proudly wears its U.S. Army livery from its work in Alaska, building the modern railroad there, which is still used today.
Well, 152 here only actually served up in Alaska for about a decade, where it was actually built. Then it spent the next 3 decades kind of sitting around rusting. It's worked here at Crossroads Village near Flint, Michigan for about 50 years now, and is still going strong, acting as an ambassador for steam. That's why this is the Industrial Revolution. Hey, just real quick before you go, if you could help me out, like, subscribe, share this video, hit notify so you know when new stuff comes out, that'd be great. Also, if you could help out financially, even better, patreon.com/Industrial Revolution, or click on the shop link here in the video or channel description, go out to my affiliate store. Anything you put in your cart, the channel gets a percentage, helps cover all my travel costs, so I can keep coming out here on location to make these videos for you. Thanks a lot, I'll see you next week.